Alright, welcome to Space Engineers. We're on day 26-ish or so. Oh no, that didn't work. I didn't like when I pressed escape. So if you press inventory while doing the ice miner thing, or using your drills, it keeps the drill active even though you're not holding the button down. I mean, yeah, you could just put it on your toolbar to just toggle the thing on and off and be done with it, but that's not what I'm doing. So, we're busy scrounging more ice off of here. You can kind of see where I've dug a nice horizontal trench line into the side of this asteroid. This giant ice cube of a rock here. I'm thinking I might have to slow down my slew rate on my advanced rotor that I got set up here. But I'll deal with that in a bit. I think I'll hit this end of the sweep, and then I'll dial back my revolutions per minute down like 0.2 or something. I can't think of what it's at. I think it's like 0.08 or 0.06 or something right now. It's not very quickly, but the longer the arm gets extended, the more pronounced the apparent motion is at the end of the arm. So in the beginning I had it turned up more. So I gotta turn that down. I gotta I'm sure there's some way to adjust that. Actually, it's not terrible, but I think I also have the torque on the rotor turned down quite a bit, so if the bucket gets stuck on something, I don't have to worry about the torque forces trying to rip stuff apart, because that would be bad. Alright. So why am I gathering all this ice? I got tons of this ice. Why am I wasting my time with it? Well, you're going to see here in a minute. Alright, we'll lock that in place. Can I go any further? Yep, we'll go for like, I don't know, I count like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then I call it good. So I got 2 of these guys. Oh, I'm almost at full extension. I got 1.9 meters left. That's fine. Okay, so let's go back here and add advanced rotor. This is the one that I'm using now because I got limitations on it. So we're going to dial that back to 6. So we're actually going to dial that back a bunch too. We're going to go for 30 kilonewtons. Let's see if that thing actually wants to swing now. So I will reverse direction, and then we'll unlock it. Okay. And then we'll situate our camera, because I don't have a good camera set up for what we're doing. And it's dark. Yep, okay, we're scraping now. Scraping the sides. So basically I'm using the corners of the buckets to bite into the material. What doesn't get scraped off initially gets scraped off by the straight edges of it. So this is like a really tiny update. What's Earth all lit up? Where is the sun? Oh, over there, down there. So I'm not oriented with the sun right now. Okay, so you might not see it, but there is that large boxy thing on the opposite side of the conning tower of the carrier. That's Catterley. That's a workhorse. I don't remember if this Catterley actually has the symbol of denier on top of it. I think I tried doing that at one time, but it's been a while since I've looked at it. So this particular blueprint that I threw up and built using resources I had on hand on the carrier, I don't know if that actually has the symbol of denier. Anyone who's read the Clerics Quintet or is familiar with Forgotten Realms at all would know immediately what I'm talking about. But for those that don't, Denier is the deity of, I guess, wisdom, knowledge, that kind of thing. Not like Hermanius Mora, which is kind of a dick in Skyrim. Daenerys is a lot more benevolent. Kind of aloof, but very benevolent. He's considered one of the good deities. I mean, there's plenty of them in Forgotten Realms. So the Clerics Quintet follows the life and times of a young priest of Daenerys, who gets himself in all sorts of shenanigans. It's a really good book. It's yeah, it kind of ties in a bit with the Dark Elf series of books, all that fun stuff. Read them when I was a teenager, kind of made an impression on me. I think Forgotten Realms is my favorite setting simply because I read those books. But yeah, so I named the mining ship, because that's all the thing is a mining hauler. I named it Catterley. So it's a workhorse. I mean, I could have named it like something a little different, but the name just kind of came to me, and I said, sure, let's go ahead and name it like that. So once I get done with the sweep here on this pass here, I'll give you the dime tour of Catterley, which is featured in a couple other videos. But okay, let's see if I can actually, if it'll keep it there. Okay. Let's draw all that in this. This is the actual carrier itself. This is one of the 4 cargo boxes I have stuck on this mining implement. You can kind of sort of see them. They're right. They're right. They're right there. Don't have a cursor right now. Apologize for the lack of lighting, but yeah, there you can kind of see them. The standard lighting engine of the game leaves a little bit something to be desired. I mean, it works. I'm actually running off of nuclear power right now because the sunlight's kind of spotty here. Because I'm parked right up against this rock, it blocks the sun quite a bit. Did I say this was 26, 27, something like that? I should make a note of that. Played it for a little bit today, so I'm going to say 25 to 28. And I'll throw up a carrier, ice mining. There is a name for why you get this weird pattern drilled into stuff when you do things, and I can't remember the name of it. You see it a lot when you're dealing with, like, say, like you make a giant sphere out of Minecraft, you'll see a similar pattern result. I forget the name of it. The larger the sphere is, the more noticeable the effect is. When it's really tiny, you don't really notice it. It's not a fractal. I don't think, anyway. Actually, I think it might be. I just can't think of the name off the top of my head. Something Newton, whatever, I don't know what. I don't know why Newton has anything to do with it, but there it is. Oh yeah, we can zoom way out. So yeah, there's Catterley. Kinda, sorta, maybe, see? Nope, because we're slowing around so much. Okay, with that, we will lock the rotor. And we'll discontinue mining. It should have got us a couple good passes of stuff here. Alright, so Catterley is docked on top. I had to figure out a way to dock her on top and get her lined up, because I said previously I don't have docking ports on top of the carrier, so I wanted to craft one in. So what I did is I got a 1x1 piston. This is shorter than the standard piston. It fits in a 1x1 spot when it's not extended. And it extends out to 2 more blocks worth. So that puts Catterley 1 block or 2 meters up off the deck of the carrier. So if I really wanted to be snazzy about it, I would toss a landing gear down, so the ship would be more or less locked in place, because the landing gear are 2 blocks tall. I also did some improvements over here, so I can lock the carrier in place onto this little landing pad here, and have the carrier docked up at this docking connector. So she's locked in at 2 spots. the landing gear and the docking port. So I might do something with that here. I might chisel out. I mean, if I wanted to block access to the gun, I could do a center line. So this ship uses odd. She's an odd configuration. I built center line and then built out from the center line of the ship. So she's an odd number of stuff. So the center line's right here. This spotlight is. The original, now this is like a crap ton of drills, and if I go onto any official server whatsoever, I'm going to get booted off promptly because all these drills are just a bunch of moving parts, which causes instability, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I know all that. Single player, less of an issue. Don't care. So it used to be the entire front face was nothing but drills. Well, to cut down on drill usage, and they were kind of overkill, I got rid of most of the middle row. I mean, I could have put one here if I wanted. So the cockpit is right behind that platform right there, that piece of glass. So let's go aboard how you're supposed to. So you come up from the carrier. This kind of just happened to, you know, serendipity worked out like this, but yeah, let's grasp that lower lung, haul ourselves up. We're in minimal gravity, so it's fine. Wow, it's dark in here. Forgot I turned the lights off. I do have the ore detector script. That's a downloadable thing I got. That's pretty cool. So you have a science officer. They can park themselves right here at this desk, and they can stare at the readout and tell the pilot, whoever is flying the ship, which is right up here, you know, what's going on with the ore detector, which is on the base of the ship down there. I actually had half a mind to put the ore detector kind of in the middle there, which I totally couldn't now because I don't have other stuff. So let's turn on lighting here. I actually got a 4-button sci-fi panel so I can turn stuff off. I have the reactors on the ship turned off because I'm kind of working off of the carrier's power supply right now. So this is the machinery room. This is like your living space. I could change this door out for the rotatable doors. I think I had another version, but I forgot to save it. So you got like a little area here for the crew to congregate. You got yourself a shower in your bathroom. This is kind of where I started getting an idea for that, having them together. I got 4 bunk spaces up here, so you can have 4 people on the. It's a living board. Not much in the way entertainment. I mean, sure, you can, you know, stare at some wall-to-wall giant TV sets. You know, glorious 1:1 aspect ratio here or whatever. I could have done a double here, but I didn't. You got a little mess deck. You can have all 4 people sit here and chew the fat while, you know, making some food. Now that I have the new parts, I could think about redoing some of this. Like I could put the inset kitchen instead, if I wanted to. I could put the inset kitchen right here where this block is sitting. I don't think there might be an armor block on the other side of that, which means it would have integrity if I... Actually, it might not. Anyway, I'd have to, you know, pull the room down. So up here you got your observation platform. You can kind of see what the drill has. Not that you need to. I thought about making this a pass-through, but decided against it. And then I got up here. Yeah, she's cramped a little bit. This is... Gotta make sure my helmet's closed. I have access up to the upper surface of the ship. I actually have an assault cannon. This thing is armed for self-defense only. Not, probably less armed than the carrier itself. Not really intended to go out and tangle with stuff, but you know, armed enough that you can put the hurt on somebody while trying to jump for your safety. So reactor, got some tubing, got my single oxygen tank there, got some stuff in this cargo box. Of course, you can store lots of stuff here and all the drill heads everywhere. Like, oh yeah, I could totally... No, that's the spotlights there. Where would I put the ore detector? Anyway, machinery room. So the ship is split into 3 basic sections. The first 2 sections are, you know, cruise compartment and a machinery compartment. You have life support stuff. You got a cryo bed. You got medical bay. You got a full array of machinery, including industrial refinery, industrial assembler, grav generator, technical readout, doobie dobs, because you gotta, you know, ship's gotta have stuff in it. Large reactor, so you can use the ship. The ship basically is kind of a support ship to help construct things. So if this is all you got, you can totally live anywhere else in it. Oh yeah, the lights are off in here. How about we go turn on navigation lights? Where are my navigation lights? Marker lights. Turn that on. This is the interior of the non-pressurized, because I have realistic sound on it, plus you can see outside. So I got all the machinery that I don't care about being exposed is back here. And it's still kind of dark. I'm going to change this up a little bit. So antenna. You got crawl spaces everywhere. I have hydrogen engines everywhere. You know, cordoned off for your safety. Don't go jumping over that railing when those engines are on, because you're going to hate it. I mean, I could probably change it out for a... I think now I could change it out for one of those scaffolding blocks, because you can't actually jump through those. And I could kind of get through those if I wanted to. More stuff here. I got a standard Gatling gun. You're up here on top again. Duck back below. You got a docking connector kind of recessed away. And then I got all this machinery stuff down here. You know, hydrogen tanks are filling up pretty good. Got lots of building repairs. Love that mod. Very, very useful. And then you got a bunch of... Oh no, I fell through the deck of my ship. Not sure why I have that there. I think I was doing something with that, and I gave up. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, notionally you can jump over here, and... You know, you can... You have basic micrometeorite protection from stray little pebbles and rocks from deep space trying to kill you while you're floating around in here. Yes, kiddo?
I'm happy.
You're happy? Wow, what happened to make you happy?
I was
randomly
playing my game, you know, Genshin, and it's a little challenge account where I only use 5-star characters, and I got
you're telling about that, yeah.
I got a 5-star character, and
Yay.
I'm happy.
So now you can actually like use that character to do
yeah,
what
and it
you
was
need
a
to do.
new element, so now I don't have to fumble around with the like 2 other elements I had. So.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Neat. Cool.
Hooray.
Alright. This little guy here, once my character stops breathing all sorts of heavily, I have work pod. So I can turn on that and this, and then I can undock. So this is a teeny, small grid, little ship. I had to make this from memory, because it didn't come with... You make a blueprint, subgrids don't go with it, which is kind of lame, but oh well. So if I want to fly around in the comfort of my own little pod, I could use this. I have the Q-Tech LED lights mounted on here. They're nice and powerful. I have hydrogen and oxygen storage on board just so I can refill my suit. I have the Q-Tech O2 HC generator because it's a 1x1x1 small grid block. The standard O2 HC generator is significantly larger. So yeah, I mean, aside from the fact that the front little crash bar thing on top of this industrial cockpit is casting a shadow, you can kind of see, you can get a nice little bird's eye view of everything here on this little itty bitty pod. I suppose if I really wanted to, I could put a hydrogen tank on it and make this a hydrogen based thing, because the hydrogen engines are significantly smaller than the ion engines. I think they're half the size. But then I got to worry about hydrogen supply. But this thing's really not going to go far. It's not designed for that kind of work. Yeah, got a nice powerful spotlight or floodlight. I can, you know, peer into the bunk spaces of my petty officers there and see if they're goofing off or whatnot. And it's small enough that it fits pretty well. It's just that with only one single ion thruster each facing, kind of ponderous. So I built that in the main hangar bay of the carrier and then tossed her outside. So that was fun. So yeah, that's day like 28 of my escapades. And then we just come in nice and slow. And what you see is what you get. The pod is literally no wider than the cockpit block itself. There's that ore detector block. I might end up changing where that goes, just to streamline the ship a little bit. But I got, you know, interior defense turrets just kind of poking out everywhere. So we wait for the doors to open up. Might as well turn off the bay. You gotta get pretty much right up against... No, don't close on me! Door is gonna slam shut on my pod. And I aim basically right at this window, and I back up and bonk. Magnetics take over. I can turn off my thrusters. And then I can turn off my reactor. And then I can dock. And because I was like in the ship, outside the ship when I did that, normally you can totally get to the pod from right here, this little catwalk that's right here. I need to change the intensity of these lights. Not doing it for me. So yeah, a sensor there detects when somebody or something is near the door, then opens up. It's intended so you can get in the pod. The bay's already opened up. You can get out. When you bring the pod up to the ship, as you saw, it opens up and lets you in. So yeah, it's fun. I like it. Auxiliary control seat right here. That's not mapped to anything yet, but it's there. So I go here and turn the marker lights off. And we're kind of bouncing around here, so what I'm going to do is we're going to undock and put landing legs on this guy, so I can line up with the ship and have a more solid connection here. So that should be enough. Now, when I hit undock, it's supposed to undock all the docking connectors. Well, that's a cool thing you can do. So connector for your skiff, you can change that. So if you hit P for parking, this does not undock. So that's cool. Okay, I need a couple things here. Sure, that should be enough. Because building a pair is going to do the rest of the work for me. Huzzah. Oh, right. Where would I like to put a docking... I could totally put it right here, since I have to... I'm going to get rid of this anyway. Okay. Let's put a landing gear kind of off-centered, because why not? Yeah, that looks fine. Because you only need one, it doesn't need to be centered. Heck, it doesn't even need to be anywhere close to the center of your ship. Okay. I suppose I can go ahead and blow the containment. Alright, and now we put an ore detector down. And that'll be sealing it up. So we're gonna go like that, we're gonna go like that. Yep. Okay, that's contained now. I think that means I could put an armor panel right there if I wanted to. Heck, I can't even put hazard tape around it. Heck, we can even hazard tape that. This is not supposed to be a pretty ship. It's supposed to just be a workhorse. Now the problem I have with the hazard striping on armor slabs, not blocks. Blocks it makes sense, but on slabs you can tell the pattern doesn't line up. So it's kind of a pain. That's why I didn't do it here. These are, I think, heavy armor blocks, which means it weighs a lot. But I wanted to not worry about the ship crunching itself up mining. And then I put some heavy armor slabs on top, but only here. Oh, I think I know why. There's the corridors right here. That's why I did that. Sometimes you forget what you did when you do something. I didn't have to, since these are sealed on the top. They're not sealed on the bottom, though. That's fine. It's all right. Okay, so I just dressed it up just to do that. So how about we... Okay, so I've already... Perfect. Now we're locked in two ways. We're locked in on the deck, and we're locked in... Yeah, that's actually connected. It doesn't look like it's connected at all, but it's connected. I'm not kidding. It's legit. I'll show you. Well, it's green. I don't have to show you anything. It's right there. So now I don't have to worry about the piston kind of being wobbling around. We're locked in on two spots. It's kind of how I like doing things. If you're really fancy, you can use multiple docking connectors at the same time, but that's kind of delicate. I usually do like I would use this one, and you're really locked in. You've got power transfer and resource transfer two different ways. And I'm glad resources and parts and things flow through hydrogen engines, because that's really nifty. It'd be kind of painful if that didn't work. I'd be like, oh, I have to redo everything, and it'd be tedious. Yeah, there's the sun. Great. So no solar power on this thing. It's kind of a... I mean, we just look at it. It's ugly. It's a brick. It's more of a brick than my carrier. This is really, really bricky. And this is after I prettied it up some by putting some cladding around outside of it in an attempt to make the ship look better, but yeah, we can get rid of that. You don't need to be there. You're kind of worthless. Where was the other part that was hanging out? That was right here, wasn't it? Yep. Is there any more of that trash hanging out? Yeah, so I got the large cargo boxes and hydrogen tanks are kind of wrapped front to back with industrial girders. You see this one goes, you can kind of get through here. It's where the jump drive sits. Are you dizzy yet? I'm dizzy. But this one, I don't have it going 2 blocks down like this one does. I want to say I used to have docking gear located right here, but I hid it away. I think it was right next to the jump drive. Yeah, the sensor says, hey, you're close by. It's like, yeah, I don't care. I could color the underlying panels if I really wanted to. It's like it's... Oh, that's why I'm docked up here on that. So I'm not quite level with everything. It's fine. It'll be fine. Honest. So yeah. Giant ice mining operation here. You can tell all this I've dug it out. So that's cool. Almost a full extension here. I'm going to figure out if I want to put a hinge. Like I'll just tear all this apart and just put a hinge block right here on this connector. So then I can swing the arm down and up and get whole bunches of ice. Or what? I'm not sure what I want to do with it. I did a little bit of my ice mining here with Catterley, just because she was scraping fumes when I built her. Yeah. Times 10 inventory space means O2H2 generators just are starving for ice. It's kind of wild. Get back inside. Yeah. Then I can have some instant coffee and bug juice and maybe ration pack number 13, you know. And that's all we wrote. Alright then, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see if I get any further on this.